Hello everyone, this is Latina again. We're learning about the laws of Ghana. We explain it to the simplest form for everybody to understand. So, hey, if you're new here, just stay tuned. Let's get straight to the point today. Today we are going to talk about the offense of dishonestly receiving. It may look like a big word, but it simply means that you have received a property, you have bought a property, or you have acquired a property from someone who actually stole that property or got that property from a criminal offense under the laws of Ghana. Dishonestly receiving. So if you dishonestly receive something from someone, what punishment do you get? Can you be taken to prison? What is your sentence? How can you make sure that the properties that you buy outside, goods that you buy outside or gifts you receive, are not things which were gotten out of a crime? How would the law even decide that, oh, this thing you should have known or you knew that it was gotten out of a crime? So let's just get straight to the point so that we can all advise ourselves. So now the law says that if you dishonestly receive something from someone, like we have already said, then you'll be punished the same way or the same punishment that person could have gotten from that crime. So it means that if you bought a phone from someone who committed robbery to get that phone, you'll be punished the same way as the offense of robbery. Yes. If the person went to steal it, you'll get the same punishment for stealing. If the person defrauded someone or extortion or falsification, if you got the property through that way, then you're also going to be punished like the person who committed that crime. Now let me tell you something. Now if it is stealing, somebody steals a property, that person has up to 25 years imprisonment. It means that the court can fine him, the court can give him 1 year in prison, the court can give him up to 25 years in prison. Now if this person steals the phone and comes to sell it to you and you buy it, and the law says that you knew that that was a stolen property and you bought it, you also get up to 25 years. It means the court can fine you, the court can give you 5 years in prison, the court can give you 10 years and even give you 25 years, which is the maximum. So please take note of that. Now there's an offense called robbery. If someone commits robbery with an offensive weapon, maybe a cutlass, try to cut someone or try to threaten someone that if you don't give me this, I'll cut you or I'll shoot you, and this person comes to sell this property to you, the law says that for that kind of robbery which you use an offensive weapon, the law says that the minimum punishment that person gets is 15 years. 15 years. So if this person commits robbery with an offensive weapon, it gets a minimum of 15 years. And this person brings you a gift of maybe the phone, or he comes to sell this phone to you, and the law says that you also dishonestly received it, then you will get the minimum of 15 years. Yes, 15 years. It means the judge cannot do anything about it. Immediately the law says that you are guilty, we are going to give you the 15 years, and so be it. Nothing can be changed about it. Now, how will the courts know that you actually know that that thing was stolen? The judge will look at all the circumstances. Where did you buy the thing from? Did you buy it from the market or you bought it from the roadside? So if you're someone who is fond of buying maybe phones or something from roadside, no. You have to know that this place that you're buying this phone from, it is very likely that you're buying it from somebody who actually went to steal it. I will not mention names, but you know the areas where you know that they sell those kind of things. Now check the price that you're buying the for. If you're buying an iPhone which everybody knows is sold for 5,000 or 10,000 cedis, and you buy it for 1,000 cedis, hey, you better know that if matter comes or if something comes up, we will say that no, this one you knew that it was a stolen item, or you ought to have known. You ought to have known that it was a stolen item. A reasonable person will know that buying such an iPhone at 500 cedis or 1,000 cedis shows that you are probably buying a stolen item. Now you also have to ask, does maybe if it is a car, are there documents on the car? Some people buy cars, they don't get the documents from the person, they still buy it. It means you are getting yourself into trouble, because if we find a car with you and we are asking you questions about the property, where is the document on the property, and you don't have any reasonable explanation, then we will say that you actually stole it, or you are part of the people who stole it, or you dishonestly received it. Because you ought to have known that if somebody is selling something to you and the person does not have title to it, then that person probably stole it. And because you were not wise enough to ask those questions, the law will say that you are guilty of dishonestly receiving. So it does not matter if the property was stolen or gotten out of a crime outside the country. So far as that crime is punishable in Ghana, then it will still be dishonestly receiving. So let's say somebody stole a car in the US and comes to sell it to you. You don't do the proper checks. You buy it at a very cheap price. There are no documents on it, and you just buy it. Or iPhone. Somebody steals an iPhone from outside and brings it to you. It has a lock on it. You have to go and unlock it. You have to be very careful. If this person actually bought it the genuine way, why couldn't they unlock it before they brought it to you? If you buy something like that, you're actually moving into trouble. You're probably going to face a sentence here in Ghana and you'll be taken to prison if you don't ask the proper questions and if you are not careful enough. So please take note of that. And also remember that if you are caught with a property which was stolen or which was believed to have been gotten from a crime or a criminal offense under the laws of Ghana, and you are not able to explain to the courts how you got that property, or you cannot give us proper explanation as to how that property came to you, it is most likely that we are going to conclude that you actually dishonestly received it. So please don't just be receiving gifts from people you know that this person doesn't have A, B, and the person all of a sudden brings you the thing and you receive it and you're happy about it. So you know that your son or your daughter doesn't earn any amount of money, he doesn't have a work, and then he brings you a car from nowhere. Hey, you're happy, my son has bought a car for me. Madam, hey, be careful, oh. It may be a gift, but then the law will ask you questions that will make you know that you were being unreasonable when you accepted that car from your daughter or your son. Because you ought to be vigilant and ask questions. You don't just take gifts and receive properties from people. You know that your child doesn't have any money, and then he brings cloth to you every week, and then you keep receiving it and you say, thank you, my son, thank you, my daughter. One day, when you are being questioned, you'll be sorry because you don't have the proper answers to give for us to know that you knew or you ought to have known that this property was gotten out of a crime. The defense that you can use in this case is that, oh, maybe you were trying to return it to the person that they stole the property from, or you were trying to return it to whoever the crime was committed against or whoever the property is for. Or you didn't know that it was stolen or it was gotten out of a crime. But as I have already stated, there are some questions that the law will ask you, and when they ask you and they realize that you didn't buy it from a good place, you didn't buy it from a market, the person you bought it from doesn't deal in such goods, the price you bought it for was so little or so low as compared to the price that these things are usually bought, then you're most likely going to be seen that you actually knew or you ought to have known that this thing was gotten out of a crime. I know you may have questions. I will end this here. If you have questions, please put them in the comment section. I will answer them. And please take care. When you're buying things, buy them from the right places. Ask for proper documentation. Make sure you're securing yourself. If not, you may go to prison for something that you may actually not know anything about just because you didn't ask the right questions. Until we meet again, please share with your friends. Let them also learn about this so that we can all protect ourselves. Have a very, very, very good time. Bye.